along any roadside in Mexico on the hills are shrines to Tonantzin, our great mother. And there's a little cave besides the shrine, and has the word Maria, as this so happened, in Guero on top. Now Maria, the mother of Jesus, the Hebrew word Miriam means the sea. In Guero, well, the root word there is a war, or a revolving, a revolutionizing, in this case, a thought. That's what we're about to see when we see the shrine here. You can see here past offerings of flowers brought here. This is the most popular symbol in Mexico, and it's not only on the sides of a mountain. It's in patios, it's outside, it's inside, it's in grocery stores, it's on the walls of houses. The image that we're about to see was the first that was brought to when Father Hidalgo called for revolution against Spain. Their banner, their war banner, had La Virgen de Guadalupe, Tonantzin. You see the significance just by chance of those words on the on top of the cave there. They're really revolutionizing words, sometimes even in battle, but more so, as I said, in the world of thought. As one culture merges or into another and becomes something bigger and stronger and more applicable to more people. There's a message on the wall here on the whitewashed steps leading up to the shrine. I can't make it all out. I don't know if you can. But it asks on the mother up there, Madre Mia, to listen to my supplicants, my prayers. Con todo el amor que siento, with all the love I feel. And it's signed I'm guessing that's someone's name. And there's Tonantzin. Now why do I call it Tonantzin when everyone knows this is the Virgin of Guadalupe? It is the Virgin of Guadalupe. It's that symbol and more. There's a lot of hidden meaning in this. And the full meaning is what appeals to the Mexican people, the heart of the Mexican people. There's a lot more there than you think. For one thing, notice that the Queen of Heaven has brown skin. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the Jewish Miriam had brown skin. There's the paper furling over it. This is me, hiding under her skirts, like the angel she has under her. It's a little baby boy angel, also brown skin. Here's a more commercial, to me even more evocative. We'll bring this indoors to show you. You can get this at any grocery store here in Mexico. It's a votive candle. Now the Toltec Indians, los indigenos, had as their great mother Tonantzin. That's what it means. The great lady, our kind mother. The mujer de serpiente, the woman of the serpent, and the crusher of the serpent. A lot of these representations have her crushing the serpent underneath. It's a Toltec story. Before the Spaniards and the Christians came here. And the Virgin Guadalupe, of course, has its basilica at the base of Tepoyac Hill in Mexico City. This, before the Spaniards came, was the major shrine for this lady here. Tonantzin, our great mother, bringer of the maize, the corn lady. She gives us life. She gives us energy through the corn. And in that sense, she's our creator. If something gives you energy and makes you come alive, is she not creating in you animation? Cactus spikes behind her. She's the lady of the desert where we are now. It identifies her as being here in Mexico. Un ombligo del mundo, a navel of the world. Behind her, the sun. That's where carbon-12 is made, and without that, you can't have life. That's one more meaning of when I say we're all star people. This sun and all the other stars, that's where carbon's made. That magical ingredient with 12 placeholders that allows for life to grow. And the sun is behind her, effulgent, giving her light. Father, Son, Mother Earth. She's the Earth Goddess. And let me take a break here. Here we go. Now this is an example of technically what's called syncretism. That's where one culture, one religion, one body of thought sort of takes the old symbols and gives it a twist, a spin, and a new interpretation, a reiteration mathematically, and gives it new life that way. Now, the clearest example of this is in Genesis with the Noah story. That comes from, as we've come to know when we dig up the tablets, an older Akkadian Sumerian story about a high priest in the city of Eridu who is told by his god, Enki, whose symbol is water and whose symbol is the serpent, to prepare for a flood, build this boat that rolls over the waves, takes the seed, not everything, just the seed of things like plants, on that boat. You're going to need them. When the Jews under their Babylonian captivity heard this story, really heard it full blown for the first time, they made it their own. It wasn't a case like a plagiarism or anything like that. They gave it a new twist and brought it into their domain of thought. And they called this fellow Noah, the Wanderer. And that's where we get the Noah story from, the Sumerians. And so when you read Noah in the Bible, you're also reading the Sumerian tale with a new twist. It's been revolutionized. And this leads to evolution of thought. We're going to take this inside and we can linger over this statue, Guerrero and Maria. They go hand in hand. Life is a revolution of thought. Before I do, I wanted to show the Mexican flag. It's some flavor of it, some suggestion of it is always near the Our Lady of Guadalupe. And it's an Aztec symbol. The prickly pear flowering. The eagle and the serpent are on a prickly pear flowering. That locates it in Mexico, doesn't it? Right next to the shrine, here's an example of a prickly pear in bloom. See the flowers. Here, Miriam, the sea. From the waters, Miriam, Mary. It's a lighter blue and a darker blue as we go out. Before you might have heard trucks and cars beeping at me. I was by the statue of our Great Mother. And I had Nancy parked there, and with the Mexican flag Among other things, it's Benito Juarez Day. The president who was an indigenous, today's his anniversary. And, not to say the least, it's the spring equinox. It's March 21st. Among the ancient of days, the traditional New Year Day. The equal number of daylight hours, equal number of nighttime hours. And this is when they looked up right before dawn as the sun was coming up to see what constellation was behind the sun. And the constellation now, this very spring equinox, is Aquarius, the water bearer. Water and Miriam. How lovely that the age of Aquarius can be associated with a lot of things. One of them is Miriam, the water bearer. And Aquarius is the water bearer, but Miriam, that's what it means, the sea, water, the mother. Little birds just floating in the ocean, taking a break, sunning themselves. Yeah, I hope you could see them. Here's another example of the shrine to Our Lady of Guadalupe, just on a plain old street corner in front of an abandoned house. Rays of light, the cactus spears have become rays of light in this one. Looks like horns under her, but they're really not. Maybe the tip of a serpent's tail. Or there could be wings on each side. On roses. Roses all around her. And here, not only Mother Earth, but the Queen of Heaven. The three religions of the book, as Muhammad called them, Jews, Christians, Muslim, they are singularly lacking in the Mother Goddess. And in Christianity, at least Catholicism, Virgin Mary tries to make up for that. But it's considered a cult among the Protestants. And there's one big heavy-duty male god and no mother. A serious drawback. And there in the distance, another example of symbols here. This happens to be a marine college, a naval college. You see the flags that the ships used to communicate with each other before the days of radio. Each flag is a symbol for some sort of act of communication. They all mean something individually. You know, stop, help, go right, go left, don't hit us. The Mexican flag on top, of course. And you have to use that method of interpreting flags as a means of communication to interpret the full meaning of Our Lady of Guadalupe. We're looking at symbols flying in the breeze. Each represents something, and together, through association, you can make sentences out of them.